Kami now has joined the battle, but is it too little too late? With Cell now involved, things get a little bit more complicated. We'll be covering all that and more in the 6th part of What If Goku Was Like Broly. Kami briefly battles Android 17 and realizes that he can't win here. But it's also very clear now that Cell isn't with Android 17, and he tries to sense what's going on. He could feel Cell's power rapidly increasing. 17 can't feel this, but Kami relays it to him. He doesn't think 16 and 18 are going to win that fight, and Kami didn't even realize that they'd be fighting in the first place. He nervously chuckles, telling 17 that it looks like they have a common enemy. 17 doesn't buy any bit of this, but Kami then places a hand on him, teleporting him to the lookout, because Kami also wants to see what's going on, and the two of them look from up there, seeing Android 18 is nowhere to be seen, and they see a scrapped Android 16 nearby, as Cell is transforming, now in a semi-perfect state. Neither of them has a clue of what happened, but given the fact that Kami knows Cell could absorb people, maybe absorbing Android 18 helped him grow. Something about her being an android helped him do this. But he didn't realize that part. He didn't know that Cell was going after the androids, he just knew that Cell could absorb people and wanted to kill Goku. And of course 17 can't believe what he's witnessing either. 18 is dead. Or at the very least part of Cell now. And if Kami's theory is true, that means 17 will be the next target. Cell begins searching for Kami and Android 17. He doesn't really know much about Kami compared to everybody else, especially now with Kami's new powers. But more importantly, he can't find the lookout right now, which will buy everybody some time. Raditz and Nappa then arrive on the lookout. Kami called everybody up here, and they also sense that increase in power. Vegeta and Trunks arrive not too long after, with a now recovered Goku arriving alongside Gohan. First off, the elephant in the room. Kami explains what happened to him. Although he kinda regrets doing it right now because they don't have the Dragon Balls at the moment, but he can create a new set if they really need it. Besides, Shenron does deserve some upgrades. He thought him getting involved in this fight would help, but really, it didn't. But Trunks thanks him because he knew nothing about Cell. Kami getting involved actually did help because otherwise they wouldn't have known about him. Sure, Kami wasn't able to defeat him or any of the androids, but Kami gave them a huge amount of info that they didn't know before, and he has Android 17 up here. 17 has no clue what he wants to do. Part of him wants to fight Cell, but part of him also knows that's a ridiculous idea. He can't. If he defeated Android 18 and 16 that quickly, and is now stronger than before, there's no way he stands a chance. Goku has an idea though. First off, Android 17 should join them. If the Cell guy really is after him, then why not stay on their side? And Trunks doesn't really know about this idea, but Goku says the androids haven't really done anything too crazy yet, and given all the changes so far, maybe they have changed compared to the other timeline. The human fighters are up here too. Krillin agrees with Goku. And besides, what options does Android 17 have? It would be mutually beneficial for them to work together, or at the very least, call a temporary truce. If 17 doesn't work with them, what's he gonna do, fight Cell? He'll die and then just make Cell even stronger. 17 is a bargaining chip right now. As long as they know where he is and can keep him safe from Cell, they'll be fine. But Cell's power does concern them. Raditz mentions if Cell has the DNA of everybody, that should mean he has Goku's power, which means he has the same exact mutation. And that would explain why he's so strong compared to everybody. But he still hasn't displayed his full power yet. Raditz did briefly sense Goku's energy, but it made no sense because he was near Goku the entire time. So that definitely is a part of Cell that could flare up at any moment. Goku has a pretty simple plan though. Use the Room of Spirit and Time. They're each going to take turns training in there, and then they can go and fight Cell together. But Nappa questions why Goku doesn't just go to fight himself. Surely he should be strong enough to fight Cell. Well, Goku says he's not too sure. He didn't get to see Cell's previous form, but at his current power, Goku thinks Cell is actually above him. Although, it's nothing a bit of training can't fix. He's confident that with just 1 year in the Room of Spirit and Time, he'll get a full grasp on his full power, and he'll be able to get Gohan to do the same. And even one of them alone will be enough to defeat Cell. It might even be overkill. But that's assuming Cell stays as he is. They need to keep Android 17 safe. Vegeta says he's going in first, and he goes in with Trunks. The rest of the group stays on the outside, waiting on the lookout trying to figure out what to do next, as Kami monitors everything with Cell. And just to be safe, Kami does create a new Shenron, but doesn't activate him just yet. Once Cell's defeated, he'll activate the new Shenron, and he'll make a wish to revive everyone killed by Cell. With Kami's new upgrade in power, Shenron's even stronger too, and he can do 3 wishes. Normally Kami wouldn't do something like this, but given the dire circumstances, it is worth it to recreate the Dragon Balls after just having made a wish. Also, given the fact that they kinda need a stronger Shenron now with Kami being stronger. But there still is something Goku needs to ask Trunks. Thankfully he only has to wait a day. Vegeta and Trunks exit the Room of Spirit and Time, and Vegeta decides they're gonna fight Cell. Trunks thinks it's a really bad idea, but Vegeta wants to at least test out how strong Cell is. Although Trunks doubts it's gonna do much, he's gonna be careful. Before they go, Goku asks Trunks something. What happened with future Gohan? He never really went into detail about it before. He just mentioned that he knew Gohan and Gohan ended up dying. But why did he die? Doesn't he have the same type of power as Goku? How is that not enough to defeat the androids? Trunks explains. there is kind of another reason. Future Gohan ended up getting Super Saiyan later on than normal, and he died earlier than normal. The first time he became a Super Saiyan was also the last time he became a Super Saiyan. Trunks didn't tell Goku this because he actually never got to see a lot of this. He didn't have a lot of info to go off of. He explains more of what happened. Gohan and Trunks were pretty close, with Gohan training Trunks a lot too. Although, Gohan didn't really get Super Saiyan right away. Often they would fight off the androids, but something was holding Gohan back. And it wasn't really intentional, he just couldn't handle what was going on. At one point they had a bad fight. Trunks was defeated and nearly killed, but Gohan was able to save him, getting him out of the way and then fighting the androids on his own. Gohan was pushed to his limits and ended up transforming, going completely berserk too. Trunks didn't see any of this, but Gohan didn't just become a normal Super Saiyan. He went into that full power state that Goku's trying to control. Goku had trouble controlling regular Super Saiyan the first time he transformed, so it makes sense that Gohan would have trouble controlling that stage of it. Gohan always knew he had that type of power within him, but always feared it too, because if he used this to defeat the androids, what would happen next? He would go on a rampage if he couldn't control it. And that's exactly what happened. When he transformed, he went on a rampage. He fought blindly and didn't even really do anything against the androids. He injured them a bit, but they played it smart. They were coherent, and they had infinite stamina. All they had to do was avoid Gohan and let him wear himself out, because at some point, that's exactly what happened. With all of his injuries and his power running wild, Gohan was eventually tapped out of power completely. They played the long game here, and it ended up working perfectly fine for them. Sure, it was a bit terrifying at first with Gohan's power, but they worked around it pretty quick. And as much as they loved playing around with Gohan, they knew he was too big of a threat to keep around, especially after transforming like this. They were able to kill him here. Gohan transforming would have worked perfectly fine if his power was tamed, and if he wasn't injured already. But just like Goku and him fearing his own transformation here, Gohan of course feared the same thing. He didn't know how to unlock this power, and more importantly, how to tame it if he did unlock it. Especially after hearing what happened with Goku when he first transformed, he was really scared. He could have been a bigger threat than the androids. Because sure, he would have been able to kill the androids, but what would happen after? Would he end up destroying himself and Earth in the process? He had no way of knowing and no way of training further. Trunks didn't get to see a lot of this. What he tells Goku is that after the fight ended, he woke up. He was unconscious, but he did feel Gohan's power while he was out. But by the time he got over there, the androids were already gone and it was too late. Gohan was dead. And this was the catalyst for Trunks turning Super Saiyan. So Trunks became a Super Saiyan earlier on, but of course at a cost. And while he barely was able to sense the power because he was unconscious, still, he felt it. It was that powerful, and it was exceptional. It's almost like Gohan's power stuck with him, like it left a stain on his brain. That's how potent it was. Well, Goku thanks Trunks for that. Sure, Trunks didn't know much of what went on, but Goku fills in the pieces and assumes what happened there. Both he and Gohan will be perfectly fine. They're going to tame this power completely. Goku's already made great strides. And especially because future Gohan didn't get that same type of training that Goku gave Gohan here. He's already ahead of where he should be. He already displayed some level of control, and thanks to Raditz, they know a little bit more about his power. Goku needs to harness his full power, and Gohan needs to control Super Saiyan and then harness his full power. Vegeta tells Trunks they're leaving now, and the two jump off the lookout, with Raditz and Nappa heading into the time chamber next. They're doing this order because it's better for Goku and Gohan to stay up here and defend, in case Cell tries to attack 17 or something. 17 still doesn't understand why they're doing this to protect him. Sure, he gets it's mutually beneficial, but after they just tried to kill them? Kami says he could see what 17 is. He's a victim of Droz too. Sure, he's bad. He's misguided right now. And really, they're only teaming up because of a common enemy. But still, Kami can literally see the goodness within people if he needs to, looking into their minds or hearts. Besides, most of the people around him were once enemies of Goku, as well as himself. And look at Kami himself too. Part of him used to be his arch nemesis. He's only as strong as he is right now because he isn't perfect. He isn't purely good like he was before. The only two pure-hearted people up here are Goku and Gohan. And that's exactly why he's fine keeping 17 up here. Besides it being the smart choice, in Kami's eyes, there's nothing 17 has done to deserve death. He's already been up here a full day and he hasn't tried to attack anybody. Clearly he recognized the same stuff. 17 keeps to himself for the rest of the time, just hoping Cell doesn't get to him, and hoping he can bring Android 18 back. On the surface, Vegeta and Trunks fight Cell, showing off Super Vegeta and Super Trunks. At first, Vegeta fights alone but can't win, and Trunks joins in, which kinda pisses Vegeta off. But Cell shows off more of his own power, being surrounded by that same green aura that Goku has. They can sense Goku's side of him flare up. It feels like an evil version of Goku's right in front of them. The two don't know what they're going to do here, but Kami then teleports down to the surface, with Goku also alongside him. And before Cell attacks, he stops. Kami grabs onto Trunks and Vegeta, teleporting them back up to the lookout, with Goku staring down Cell. He can tell Cell desires battle a lot, doesn't he? The two are similar in that sense. He tells Cell straight up. Right now, they don't have the power to fight him, but if he gives them a few days, they'll be able to. They'll give him the battle of his life. He even shows off his full power form. He doesn't have perfect control of it, and it's really hard to maintain right now, but it gives Cell a gauge of his power. Goku says this is his limit right now, but trust him. Just give him another few days, and he'll be way beyond this level. And Cell decides, yeah, he'll accept that. If Vegeta and Trunks got that much stronger that quickly, he's sure Goku can too. Of course, Vegeta and Trunks weren't really a challenge for him, but he sensed their power beforehand when they first fought the androids. They have grown, but he only gives Goku 3 extra days. After that, he'll do what he wants. He'll kill Goku and everybody around him. In the meantime, he'll continue looking for Android 17. He'll be perfect by the time they fight. Kami then comes back down there, teleporting Goku away again. Vegeta's really pissed because he wanted to fight, but Trunks tries to calm him down. They would have died there if they kept fighting. And Vegeta says he doesn't care about that. It would have at least been a warrior's death. And Trunks says that's true, but it would have been a stupid death. And Goku decides to talk to Vegeta. Can Vegeta beat a Super Saiyan like him right now? And Goku's not trying to brag or anything. He's just trying to remind Vegeta what he's up against. Goku transforms into his full power state once again. Vegeta sensed it when Goku just transformed right now, but feeling it again up close? It's unbelievable. Kakarot is still above him, and he's gonna go into the Room of Spirit and Time next. Who knows how strong he'll get after the fact? Vegeta curses it all, and goes off on his own. Still staying on the lookout, but getting away from everybody. Goku's not doing this to demoralize him, just to remind him of what they're up against. And as much as Vegeta hates to admit it, he realizes that Kakarot's right. He can't even defeat Kakarot right now, so how would he defeat Cell? It's a fruitless endeavor, and maybe Trunks is right. Sure, it would be a warrior's death, but why die right now? Why not get even stronger, and then fight Cell later on? Or even better, get strong enough to surpass Kakarot. He has more to live for, and more that he could achieve. Cell is genetically advantaged just like Goku is. They do both have the same mutation after all. Raditz and Nappa exit the Room of Spirit and Time, with Goku then entering with Gohan. Raditz and Nappa have also achieved Super Saiyan Grade 2 and even Grade 3 by now. Raditz is pretty happy with himself because, sure, he knows he's not the strongest in the group, but he's already passed Nappa. Next is Vegeta. He's been bettering himself a lot more recently. He's way more confident in his abilities, and he knows Goku's advantage, but still, no matter what it takes, no matter how much blood, sweat, and tears he has to shed, he will surpass Goku. Goku was the one to teach Raditz that hard work is everything. Goku here is gifted, sure, but he still is a hard worker, and while Raditz isn't gifted like Goku, at the very least, he could still be a hard worker like Goku. He may be an average low-class warrior without any mutations, but he can become so much more than that. That won't define him going forward. A few hours pass. Goku and Gohan are still in the time chamber, but somebody arrives on the lookout, forcing his way up there. It's Cell. Kami tried to turn him away, but Cell basically forced his way through. He has too much power for Kami to hold back. Usually Kami can decide who comes to the lookout and who doesn't, and especially with his power right now, there's not really anyone that can get past him, besides Cell. 17 quickly hides. Thankfully he has no key to sense. But Cell's not stupid. He knows 17 is up here. He was last seen with Kami after all, and Kami was just teleporting everybody around. Surely they all have to be grouped together. He sees Vegeta and Trunks again too. He tells them not to worry. He's not going to kill them. He would rather fight everybody at once in a few days because soon enough he will be perfect. With one laser from each of his eyes, he blasts Trunks and Vegeta off the lookout. Nappa and Raditz then rush over at him, but he does the same, telling them again that they don't need to fight right now. He just wants to keep them away so he could find Android 17. Cell then turns to Kami, telling him not to worry. That pep talk from Goku is really good. For the time being, he's decided he's not going to kill Goku. He doesn't know where Goku is right now, but he'd rather let Goku grow. With all of this power, none of the people here can challenge him, besides Goku. Why would he want to kill the only person that can give him a fun challenge? He walks around the lookout, even passing by Ten, Krillin, and Yamcha who just look on in fear. The Saiyans all fly back up, but before they could do anything, Android 17 then steps out, holding a hand to his chest. Cell was about to discover him anyway, so there's no point in hiding. If Cell gets any closer, he'll detonate himself. And Cell chuckles, so he's figured it out. Cell's here to absorb him, just like he did with Android 18. To catch 17 off guard, he then imitates Android 18's voice, telling him to join. Assimilate with Cell, and this briefly does catch 17 off guard, with Cell then stretching an arm out, quickly breaking 17's arm and taking it away from his chest. Telekinetically he restrains Android 17, stretching out his tail to absorb him. Everyone watches on with complete fear as Cell begins to transform into his perfect state. And once more he reminds them, they're not going to die here. He has no need to fight them. He just wants to grow strong enough for his battle with Goku. For the time being, don't worry about death. That's not going to happen until after he beats Goku. Just sensing Cell's power alone makes their blood curdle. He slowly and casually walks to the edge of the lookout, and then turns back, waving at them. He'll see them in a few days. He'll even set up a nice arena for them to fight in. As Perfect Cell leaves the lookout, this is where we leave off for now. What'd you guys think about this part, and what's going to happen next? Leave your thoughts and ideas in the comments below. I'd love to see what you guys think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really helps with the channel and shows me you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all in my next video.